Good evening, Crimson Tide Nation, and welcome to the 36th edition of Alabama Crimson Tide Live, all right here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football. From yours truly, Jackson Johnson, and my partners in crime, Coach Johnny Burts and Jeffrey from Only Talk Sports, where, as Jeffrey would say, we talk about Alabama football on this channel, or at least we try to. We're going to get that quote trademark one of these days. But let me tell you something. You're going to be in for a wild ride as we'll be discussing our quarterback, Mount Rushmore, Saban and the president, making some NIL moves. What's going to be happening on there? And the DeBoer, Josh Pate interview, the good, bad, and the ugly. Let me tell you something. It's going to be an awesome one. You're in for a wild ride on a Monday night. How you doing tonight, gentlemen?
Doing good.
Doing well. Staying busy.
There we go. I mean, that's what Mondays do. They keep you busy. But hey, we're getting close to 104 days of summer vacation, aren't we?
It is a verb, baby.
There we go. Oh wait, I'm not a kid anymore. My bad.
Yeah, it still counts, man. It still counts.
It's like Buzz Bunny. He's like, no more class, no more teachers' dirty looks. Hey, I'm not a little bunny anymore.
Yeah. I still relate to being a teacher, so yeah. But over time they've shortened the summer, man. Used to be middle May till end of August, and then slowly they'll make it year round. But now some schools, even in the South, 1st of June, and you start back the end of July.
Good grief.
Summer, those days are getting shorter. Those numbers are getting shorter. They're just squeezing us out.
We gotta let the kids have summer vacation, man. An actual
summer vacation. That
and a rest for the teachers. Come on, like
exactly. And now for the teachers, they put us in like 10 days of professional development, and I'm like, taught over 30 years. How much more can I be developed? Seems like I ought to be developing other teachers.
But yeah, like does LeBron James still need development? Like I don't know. That's not how that works. You're probably as good as you're ever going to be at your craft after that.
A little late for me.
Well,
anyway.
Well, we definitely have a little something to look for all of you to look forward to, especially on this happy Cinco de Mayo. For $2.99 a month, you can become a Crimson Faithful member. And with that, in return, you get a loyalty badge next to your name in the comments and in the live chat, and custom emojis to use, and you get a shout out on every show for every time you comment. For $4.99 a month, you can become a Saban disciple, and you can get priority replies to the comments and access to a monthly hangout from yours truly and Jeffrey at Ollie Talk Sports, Coach Burts, Manny Wilson, and Brady Quoto from the Alabama Primetime Live Show Tuesday nights. For $9.99 a month, you can connect on social media with each of us and give out content requests of any kind. And that's all by becoming a Bear Bryant legend. And neither rain, nor sleet, nor snow, nor pollen, nor tornadoes, nor any bad weather of any kind will put a stop to us from fulfilling your request all right here at the Voice of College Football. But that's not all. We've got magic coming to you from the Voice of College Football. Our friends, Matt Zimick and Leanne Herring, Mark Rogers and friends, are all creating magic all right here. And you got Cliff Richardson, TJ Ronan. Let's see. You got the host directory, all your favorite hosts from each of the shows, all right here at the Voice of College Football. Stick around. You're going to see some top-notch magic from the hosts, the writers, the list of shows. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be in for some magic. Got the list of the channels, the forums, everything, the news articles, all of it, all right here. I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the chat. So come on in, tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at Publix about the magic that the Voice College Football website is bringing you to keep you from starving of college football content.
I love that schedule thing right there where it shows all the shows at what time. Like that is so cool. Like that is nifty right there.
I know, right? It makes life so much easier. And before we get to our first topic, we have a new member, and he is one of the callers of the Alabama College Show, our buddy from Wager Wire, Alabama Richie. We welcome you to the YouTube membership train. And Pit Snipe Husker is talking about, I'm getting some Stallion-esque intel. Wow, it's like, it's been going nuts in Michigan today. It's like, Sharon Moore.
It never ends, man. It never ends.
Oh, man. I think we know some people that are going to be hiding and some people that are going to be trolling. I'm like, if you want to brag, go to the Ohio State channel. Or if you want to flaunt yourself and strut your stuff like a pigeon, like on a chessboard, then go on the Michigan channel. But it's like, we got no dog in this fight. And Pitt Snipe Husker wished us a good afternoon. We wish him a good afternoon as well. Alrighty. So we saw a top-notch interview from the Speaker Series on Josh Pate, and it was our guy, Kalen DeBoer. And he seemed like he did a pretty good job. He did all right, but what do you think, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, judging by what he, said during that, I guess you would say interview. I mean, he seems confident, but he has to be, right? Like you can't go into that interview and not be confident because you're dealing with the Alabama fan base. You have them kind of, I wouldn't say it's like shaky ground, but a lot of fans are a little bit, worried about the future of the program, and all eyes are on DeBoer. Like, hey, you gotta continue what Saban did. You got to continue to win at a high level, even if you're not going to, win as many titles. That's not probably feasible, but you look at the things he said, like being excited about, the positions that are going to look different. We're going to talk about that later. He was talking about stuff like that, just a bunch of stuff, in general with fan expectations and everything as well. I feel like, again, you have to meet that. You have to meet that demand for success. Like, if you're a coach in a program like this and you don't talk about fan expectations, then, I mean, you're in over your head at that point. So I feel like overall he pretty much, delivered a pretty solid interview with Pate, and I think that is making some Alabama fans feel a little bit better about him because, I mean, a lot of times the way people perceive people is through the media, like how you sell yourself and your program in the media is gonna influence how a lot of people feel about a person. I mean, if you recall, like PJ Fleck when he was winning in Minnesota, people were like, "Oh, I love his row the boat and his attitude and all that kind of stuff." But then they started losing, and people kind of faded on him. Saying it would happen to Cignetti if he starts losing in Indiana. People will start clowning on him. But like right now, Indiana's winning, doing well. So like his boldness, people like that. Most people. So I feel like with DeBoer, like he's got to be confident. He can't be overconfident, but the way that he, sells himself in the program is definitely, I think, gonna, help in the long run. I think he did a good job.
I would agree.
I was interested with regard to his comments, year one to year two, and that dynamic, and you want improvement. And I like the fact that he relied upon his experience, been there, done that, and keeping the expectations high for himself, for the program, for the players, for even the assistant coaches, and being positive and creating. He's not Nick Saban. I mean, he doesn't have that old school bark 'em out, kind of mentality. But that's okay. It's okay. It worked for Coach Saban, but I mean, he's going to be more, I guess, smooth running and not ruffling and making, comments, out of the whatever, those type of comments. I don't see a lot of, you would hear some things, quotes and stuff with regard to Saban during practice. I don't see anything with Coach DeBoer related to that. So I think he's more of an even keel. I'm not sure he's one of those old school, gripe them out and, bring the hammer and all that kind of stuff with regard to players. But in fairness to him, his second year, he's always done a great job, and he's got a good defense. He's got some great tools to work with, and so and ideas keep us in the hunt. Keep us in the hunt, Coach. It was what Coach Saban's third year. That things really took the first year, but 6-6, bowl game, second year, got all, there. And then of course didn't have enough experience in third year, boom. So you want to see improvement. The deal here, you can't lose to Vanderbilt.
No,
that stuff's got to be over. And so
or Oklahoma.
Yeah, exactly. As bad as we looked. So you got to have more improvement. I think the biggest improvement for Alabama is going to be on defense. So I liked what he had to say.
Yeah, the linebacker position where he's like really impressed with it. Like I've got a great feeling about our defense going into 2025.
Well, I mean, the defense has to be great. I mean, even in the Saban era, we had seasons where our offense wasn't very good outside of like one or two players, but our defense was so stout that we were able to win grinded out low scoring games. Yes, football's kind of changed since 2010. It's played a little differently now. You got to put up more points in general than you used to. It's harder to win those type of games, but if you don't have a great defense, you're not going to win. You're just not going to win. It doesn't matter what your offense is. So
you got to have I don't know if it still rings true today, but defense wins championships. If other team can't score, and all you got to do is just, in today's world, it's not so much, keeping them from scoring. It's just get them out of rhythm and limit their number of possessions, limit the number of times that they have the ball. And to do that, you got to have a very methodical type of offense. Now you run into throw it up, score it up. And so you got to have a good mix of, you got to be able to score a lot, but you got to be able to play defense, because that's going to help you win the championships. I haven't seen too many other than I haven't seen too many playoff games or the semifinal games have been just romp them, stop them, score them up. I mean, they're out 20s, 30s, type of games, that kind of stuff. Every now and then there'll be an outlier, but so that means you got to have some defense.
There you go. I mean, you got to have all the defense. I mean, I still believe in that motto, defense wins championships, because in a way, it really does.
It used to be the great defenses could keep other teams under 200 yards total offense. Well, you can forget that now. Good defensive now, if you can keep them under 350 because of the pace of the game and spread them out and gaps and open areas and stuff like that. So 300, 350, if you can have a defense like that, you're going to be in the playoffs for sure. So that's where we are today.
I can't imagine like some of the current teams that we have going against somebody like Leroy Jordan in the 60s. Like, that would be ugly.
Yeah. Be some, somebody eventually will do an AI whatever, and they'll have all the the Bama great defenders against all the whatever Georgia, Auburn, great offensive players, and we'll do a little sync. They've tried doing that stuff in the past, but sooner or later, chat or AI will create something like that, and it'll be kind of interesting to watch. You know what I'm saying? It'll happen, and we'll all be like,
and then people be like, "That's like the definitive result." Like, okay,
yeah.
Oh man.
Well, we don't have to watch it. We don't have to watch it anymore. We got this.
Yeah, but nope. Yeah. Pit Snipe Husker says DeBoer hasn't mastered Saban's charming old cuss energy.
Yeah, exactly.
So. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, hardly anybody would be able to match Saban's energy. I mean, it's a different era. He had the ability to do so too with his success and track record. I mean, you cannot be Nick Saban and have the record of Kirk Ferentz. You can't do that. Like to be Nick Saban, you have to win like Nick Saban first. But then when he won, and then his personality, he was able to shine through all the way. I mean, that's what's really cool. It's great when people can actually, showcase their authentic selves, and it's hard to do that if you're not winning. You really can't.
I mean, like the last time Iowa was winning a national title in all college football, Gunsmoke was the #1 television show in America.
Yeah,
Old
and
Matt
probably
Dillon.
half of America don't even know what that show is, which is a shame.
Old Matt Dillon, Festus.
That, yeah, like Chester going, Mr. Dillon, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeffrey's never seen that show.
I've seen it a few times.
It was only the longest running TV show ever.
I love watching MeTV. When I have time, I watch some of those westerns.
Yeah.
Right.
That thing ran for 20
20
some odd years.
But yeah,
anyway.
it's going to be interesting to see what happens for 2025. I mean, like the Josh Pate interview, I felt pretty good about what I saw.
Yeah.
And I think it seems like you guys liked it. I think everybody in the chat liked it.
Yeah, Will and D, our buddy Will, is saying it could affect NIL money too. I mean, yeah, like the way that he, portrayed and presented himself is like all that stuff matters. I mean, like you see, like again, I hate to reference it again, but Indiana, Kurt Signetti, you see what he's doing there and the way that he's portraying himself in the program, and more money is being pumped into Indiana football than ever. It's like that's what does that type of stuff. The donors have to believe that you're going to be good for them to want to actually give you the resources to win. And I think that, DeBoer's doing a good job of that. But if he can even do better, than what he's done so far in the future, then that would definitely put Alabama in a trajectory to get back to the top of college football again. But it's going to take some time, but I think it's possible.
Jack, that's a good segue into the NILs.
Oh, for sure.
Trump and Saban.
For sure.
Did you read about that, Jeffrey?
I saw a little bit of it, but
I got some figures for you. But the idea was basically Saban had a conversation with Trump about the NIL and how off the rails and crazy, and how it's really, financially really affecting universities, and really it's unsustainable. I mean, the money they're doling out to these 19-year-old kids, and the burden on the universities financially, it's just pull up some of that, Jack. You got that?
Here we go. Yeah, I think I got it for us. I'll bring it in just a little bit.
I mean, it's staggering. These figures are staggering.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I mean, like, we know that some of the numbers have been like overblown, but at the same time, we know that they're getting a lot of money, and this has been going on for a couple years now. So it just over time, like it's gonna create like
it's gonna kill it. I mean, they got to get it under control.
4,300
NIL. All right, here's how many in 2024. This is the basic. This is not an estimate, but it's somewhere near the actual numbers. 4,300 players transferred last year, and if you look at team and the number of players on a roster, that equates to the entire roster of 50 college football programs. Every player on the team transferred. 1 year, 50 programs, every single player on the team transferred to another program. I mean, it's staggering. Look at that.
It's nuts.
Staggering. And then the amount of money. Over $1.67 billion swapped hands last year. And then what happens is it's going to it's okay for the smaller schools. They don't have to pony up as much money and raise as much money. But what it's going to do is it's going to stifle some of the larger schools. I mean, big money programs that got the power bucks and stuff like that, the big, donors. It's going to put a strain on them, because how much money do you think they're going to pony up? How many billionaires are out there? And so it's unsustainable. And so now what's unfair about it is now big time programs are having to pay 10 times, 20 times more money than the smaller programs. And so Coach Saban had a conversation, at the Alabama graduation ceremony, and saying, something's got to be done, because the NCAA is not going to do anything. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering what their cut is. Okay, because they got to have some kind of cut in all this. Because
I feel the thing that's ridiculous to me is it's like with the portal, when people were saying that the portal needed to be open and everybody like should be able to transfer if they want to transfer. It's like, all right, that's fine, because guys are going to want to transfer either for playing time or to get a bigger opportunity at a bigger school. I mean,
or to get closer to family.
Or closer to family. Those are like your big transfer moves, right? But then it's like you brought NIL into the equation, and it's like you got a bunch of guys transferring for the sake of it that shouldn't be. Nico should never have left Tennessee for UCLA. That is strictly an NIL thing, because probably UCLA, you look at their team, it's not very good, right? They just put a lot of bucks into that one guy. Whereas Tennessee, they got a team. They got a bunch of other guys making a ton of money. They did not want to pay Nico any more money, especially when they considered his performance kind of average. And we're paying all these other guys. So it's like, all right, go ahead, go to UCLA. They're going to pay you more money because their team kind of sucks, and it's LA, whatever. But that type stuff is the problem right there. Typically, when you look at issues going on, like when you look at throughout history, it's always the top that's the major problem. The stuff like Nico and Jaden Rashada and these type of situations and NIL deals is what's really killing it. Because that $1.87 billion, you think about all those transfers, probably the top 50 to 100 players, they make up a lot of that. They make up a lot of that $1.87 billion. It's not these little, I'm going from Toledo to Akron. Yeah, okay. Those NIL deals are minuscule. They don't really make up that big of a difference. I mean, it still matters, but it doesn't matter that much. But it's these big deals. It's these big transfers for no reason other than just money that's killing this stuff. That is the major problem.
And obviously, if you want to compete, if you want to run with the big dogs, you got to pony up the big money. But then if the university, so what's the university going to have to do? Well, they're going to have to look at their budget. All right, so we're paying all this money out, and so would be in the future be able to expand Bryant-Denny Stadium? No, because we're paying all this money. But one of the unfair factors is the smaller schools are not so much affected by it as the larger schools. Now, there's a reason that we have the elite and that kind of stuff. That's probably where the money is. But over time, it's not going to be sustainable. The one thing that could really put a whatever in it is if instead of being immediately eligible, I mean, you got to sit out like the old days. You just got to sit out. But who's going at this point now where the money's been gobbled up and they've unleashed the beast? I mean, it seems like maybe, Trump is the only one that can, because Southeastern Conference isn't going to do anything. I noticed they had no comment with regard to, they were asked, what do you think about Saban and President Trump and, maybe making an executive order to try to limit and control this and get no comment. So, I mean, it's just unfair. It's not fair to not fair to anybody, the spectator, the fans, the players. Well, some players are going to benefit, but overall, and then to these big universities and the amount of money they're having to fork out that they shouldn't have to be doing this.
I just laugh because you have so many of these players doing T-shirt deals. You got these T-shirt deals online where people buy their jersey, right? And then after they transfer after a year, it's like, okay, I invested in this player. I bought his jersey. I'm supporting him being the leader of my team. And it's like, oh, no, I'm going over here now. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of the problem. There's no loyalty either. And as a fan, that is awful because the biggest thing that we love in sports is loyalty other than winning. Winning is the most important thing, but then loyalty is right there as well. You love that loyalty of a guy that's at your program for 4 years and he competes and he works his tail off and then he becomes something and has a great career. Those type stories, that's gone with the Nikos. Yeah. That is it's history.
I was going to say now it's filtering down into the high school ranks. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm okay. I thought this was I thought the NCAA would have been this would have been fine with me if they just left. Hey, kid, you want to use your name, make some money, whatever, NCAA, they didn't want to allow that to happen in the past. Well, if they want to do their broker their own, whatever, but having a school, having the university to pony up all this money for these individual NIL contracts. And then the university's got to consider, well, how much money are we making off this kid? He's only here a year. We're going to make enough to, off this. So, I mean, it's just, so many questions still yet to be answered and to reconcile.
Well, we had And there's somebody that's in opposition to Nick Saban's and Donald Trump's take on the NIL.
I'm
And-
sure there's opposition, Jackson.
there's a lawyer named Steve Berman. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
He's not too crazy about the positive executive order at NIL. He is the co-founder of the Hagens Berman law firm, who's
Who
representing
represents about probably a dozen, players as their.
hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, exactly.
2.78 billion. What? Oh my God. 2.78 billion. What's up, Godfather? How you doing today, good buddy? The law firm says interference from Saban and Trump at this point is unmerited and unhelpful. While he was a coach, Saban initially opposed NIL payment to athletes, pushing to add restrictions and red tape through national legislation to add some sort of control. Berman said in a press release during his time scrutinizing the athlete pay structure, he made tens of millions of dollars, was previously the highest paid coach in college football. Berman went on to further explain why he felt Saban and Trump's involvement was unneeded. Coach Saban's Trump's 11th hour talks of executive orders and other meddling are just more unneeded self-involvement. College athletes are spearheading historic changes, benefiting massively from NIL deals. They don't need this unmerited interference from a coach only seeking to protect system that made him tens of millions of dollars.
This is where I disagree, though, because that guy Berman is looking at, oh, well, Saban made tens of millions, so should the players. I'm not saying the players should make money, but you got to look at it from an historical perspective. In the past, college football was not a moneymaker at all. It was just a sport, right? Same as college basketball. You as a player, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a scholarship to play at this school. That's good enough.
It was never intended to be professional. It was never pretended. It was never created to be hiring professionals. Mm-hmm. And now you're going to have a situation where players are going to make more than the coaches.
But the thing is, though, is that that's what people don't understand. In the past, you just went to the school, you got a scholarship, and that was good enough. And if you made it to the pros, like Oscar Robertson and some of those guys back in the 60s in the NBA were working second jobs because they barely got paid anything because the money wasn't there. It's not Nick Saban's fault that he made tens of millions of dollars. It's not his fault. The reason why he did is because football started becoming a money-making sport. It started happening in the 80s and 90s. Prior to that, it was not because baseball was America's sport. It wasn't football at all. Football was not seen as that. In the 40s, people laughed at the dropouts that played football. They're like, what's wrong with these people? They're hitting each other when they could be defending our country. Times changed. And when football became a moneymaker, the coaches started getting bigger contracts. And then the excuse that, oh, well, if these coaches are making big money, so should the players. Mm-hmm. It would have never even have been an argument if college football had never got to the point where we have these 100,000 stadiums where people showing up every set. People are obsessed by college football. There's nothing wrong with that. We love college football. That's why we're here talking about it. But the thing is, it got to the point where it was so valuable. It was worth so much that is where this whole argument that the players should be paid. It never was an argument before when the coaches were probably making $20,000 a year back in the 50s and the players just were happy to get a darn scholarship. Now it's become everything. The coach is making $10s million a year. The players now making $10s million a year because the money's there. That's what people don't understand. It used to never be a problem before. Now it is because there's money. When there's money, people want to get paid.
Yeah. And I'll tell you a story backing up what you were saying. You know, my father-in-law, Wayne Trimble, played at Alabama. And he told me, because we've talked about this and everything and many, many times. But he said, heck, when he was excited to sign with Alabama because that's when, the dorm, Brian, the dorm there. What's the name of it? I forgot. But anyway, he said he went from, home and he got to the university there at their new dorm they built and they had air conditioning. He said, I was just glad to have a bedroom that had air conditioning. That's worth it to me. And now they all, they want their endorsements in their little, whatever, million, hundreds, thousands, whatever. And it was innocent back then. It's no longer innocent.
Yeah, and the players could be on the campus too, and they weren't celebrities. They were just guys. They were just random dudes that happened to play on the sports team, and they just were normal citizens. And now it's become like celebrity-fied. I don't know if that's a word, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, it's just got to the point where they're like the most popular people in their state now. They're more important than actors. It's insane. And then there's no loyalty because they transfer. So it's like, what's the point? You see, like, Huskers comment, would Saban have been able to retain his players in his first few seasons if he had to do it in this era? That is what Berman fails to understand. That is why Nick Saban opposed NIL. The reason that he opposed NIL is not because he was a greedy little dude and he didn't want players getting money either. No, it's because of the fact that he knew that when this happened, that he was not going to be able to keep players anymore. Mm-hmm. That's why. Because before, it was just like, come play for Bama. We win, and you're going to go pro. If you do what we tell you to do, like our coaches, you're going to go pro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good enough, right? But then with all this stuff, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to really be able to coach the same way anymore because they're going to leave. All that kind of stuff. It's like that is why Saban didn't want NIL. And nothing to do with that he didn't want him to get paid. It's because he knew that he wasn't going to be able to basically win at the level he just was.
Yeah, and developing players. And I saw, here we go, a new term, general managers. I saw where Shaq is going to be the new general manager of what? Sacramento State.
Sacramento State. I guess that's the future Pac-12 managers.
The innocence is, I mean, it goes back to that I was saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, they should have tweaked it, but I mean, they've gone, I mean, just off the.
Somebody needs to tell Sacramento State that this isn't the 90s anymore, where you got like where it's, oh man, I forget that Shaq movie where he's like a genie or something, but anyway.
Players have agents in high school.
You didn't watch that movie, did you, Jack? Don't tell me you watched that.
I saw the video cover.
I didn't watch that. Shaq is a genie.
That was it. It's like somebody had like a VHS cover of it. But that was it. It was like, oh my God. Like, I'm glad I didn't watch that movie. But what
were you going to say, Jeffrey?
I was just saying players have agents in high school now.
Yeah,
I mean, they have agents in high school. They'll even start doing it in middle school. No innocence. Like these guys, I mean, some of these players, like, it's so sad. Used to, it's like, okay, you're a middle schooler. You're playing football. You're playing basketball. And you just hope deep down, like, man, it'd be great if I could make a college team.
It's like
it would be amazing. And then now you see it where it's like, okay, I got to do everything that I possibly can to be good, because if I'm not going to be good, then I'm not going to make NIL, and I'm not going to go.
Yeah. And what's going to happen is all these players
change why they play the game.
Coach, do you remember that Gunsmoke episode where there was like the young man that's like becoming like this gunfire because of like a newspaper writer? I think that's what it's kind of like with these middle school players that are being recruited at as high as 6th, 7th grade. They got like the sleazy newspaper writer with the cigar and the nice two-pan suit or whatever, just like telling them of like Paris, France, Italy, and everything. And it's like,
in my opinion, for the love of the game, that statement right there, for the love of the game, that's basically dead. Players are not playing these sports anymore for the love of the game, and that is the problem.
Innocent high school kids. And I'll tell you another thing too, is that now a lot of these kids, they're because you have Alabama High School Athletics Association, they're not going to let these kids play for money unless they make a whatever. So now a lot of these kids are going to go to, these IMG academies and get their agents and all this other kind of stuff. And so now it's going to trickle down, watch and see, to high school football, where in the South on Friday nights, half the small town communities, we were just talking about 5. Where do you go? You go to the ball games. But now the great players are going to be at some whatever IMG or whatever the next.
They're not like going to be no one there. No one's going to want to watch the game.
Yeah,
so teams are no good.
What they're doing is they're killing the whole thing. It's going to trickle down to high school, and basketball, baseball, football, and here we go. I mean, you're just killing it. And then all of us are going to be, we've grown up all our lives watching and loving it and stuff like that. But then now you can be turned off because it's it's just disgusting.
Tons of people are turned off, but they still watch it. Because, I mean, so many people
Yeah,
in America
I
love
do.
football so much that no matter what happens, it could get even crummier than this, and they're still going to watch it. Heck, we're probably all still going to watch it. I mean, it's because you love the game too much, and they know that. These people know that, hey, American people are going to watch this stuff no matter how crummy it gets. Because, like, hey, like most of them, like, they work all week, and then they just want to sit down on Saturday, drink beer, and watch football. So, I mean, that's the thing. But there's nobody's being held accountable at all for any
And
of
that's
these
where
decisions.
Yeah, that's where Saban and Trump, at least somebody's bringing the issue out there, and maybe
Just think about it. Just say that everyone just decided not to show up anymore to the games, right? Just say that the football stadiums were empty. Ohio State, Michigan, Bama, they're all empty. People just protest and are like, you know what? All this is ridiculous. This is trash. It needs to be fixed. Regulations. This is a problem. No one goes to the games. You know what? They do it. They would do it because of the fact people aren't going anymore. But as long as people show up to the games and the tickets are the sellout crowds, everybody's still talking about college football on social media, even if they're talking about how crummy it is, bad press is still press. It's still press, and it still makes college football money if people are talking about it and watching it. And that's why nothing's really going to get done unless something happens here with Trump Saban. If not, it's not going to happen because of the fact they're looking at it, well, everyone's mad about it, but they're still watching it.
Yeah, but here's your next caveat. Why another reason why it's unsustainable is the fact that in order to generate the revenue, I mean, ticket prices are going to have to go up. How much you going to pay for a ticket? And I mean, they're already outrageous. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how much they're going to generate the revenue? They're going to have to raise ticket prices.
I mean, the product sucks. That's why a lot of people like the UFL and the spring leagues, the USFL, XFL, when before they merge, because the tickets are cheap. You want to go watch a crummy football game, you can watch a crummy football game for like $10, $15. Whereas you go to Ohio State and you're paying hundreds of dollars, even if they're playing a bad team. Like, who in their right mind wants to see Ohio State blow out Akron 60-0 for $600? I have no idea. I mean,
that's a waste of money.
I really don't get that, but teach their own.
I bet it's like I'd better get a return on that investment. I better be meeting somebody for $600, like something like I don't care. Like I better be getting like phone numbers or something.
And the
like
diesel freak.
Yeah. Well, how many people are going to be able to afford season tickets? Like, I mean, most of the money that a lot of the universities are making revenue is season tickets. Well, now you're going to have to raise the prices to stay competitive. Well, how many people are going to be able to afford season tickets anymore?
Yeah.
So we'll figure. Hopefully,
all
somebody
across the board, it's just hurting everybody. It's hurting everything.
And everybody knows it, and the NCAA still does nothing about it. They have not stepped up. They've just totally just removed themselves and just whatever. All this.
It's like America before the Civil War. No one wanted to do anything, so then the Civil War happened.
Yeah.
I mean, not suggesting that, obviously. Like, no Civil War over football. Like, please. But still, like, you don't do anything about problems, it escalates. It gets worse. And eventually, it's going to bubble over. That's typically how stuff happens. So if this stuff doesn't get fixed, it's going to bubble over.
Wow. 30,000 for the Ivory Club? Wow. Yikes.
Yeah, price yourself out of,
Oh man.
In Alabama, there's not that many elites. There's some, but I don't know.
I mean, a lot of people in Alabama. I mean, they love their team a lot, and they love supporting the Crimson Tide. But like, they're not gonna be able to go anymore if the prices get too bad. It's like not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well.
We got a little something got a little magic from Mark Rogers. Here he is.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the voice of college football.
There you go. You shop on Amazon using the link to support the voice of college football. You don't necessarily need to buy the product display. It does not cost you a penny, and you get the same shopping experience. Let me go ahead and put it in the chat for everybody, and we will be moving on to a more positive topic. Like, what's a good topic, gentlemen? I know.
Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore, quarterback Mount Rushmore. Let's go.
Oh man.
Oh man.
I mean, Mount Rushmore, four faces.
Well, what I did last week when Jeffrey and I were doing our running back Mount Rushmore, I just kind of like added an extra because like I think there's going to be a fifth head in Jeffrey and I's lifetime before we're gone.
Yeah, and I told Jackson, as long as it's a head that's worth being put on there, like no, don't add just anybody on there.
No.
Okay, like no.
Well, hey, catch me up to speed. Who are the running backs on the mount?
Do you remember who I picked, Jackson?
Oh Lord, I think we're gonna have to look back.
I know. I said Derrick Henry. I said Derrick Henry.
To say Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I know. I said Mark Ingram.
I had Johnny Musso. I had Mark Ingram. I think I had Glenn Coffey on one of them. Okay,
I can't remember. I'll give him.
I had Sean Alexander because one, he was a legend for Alabama football, and he had Sean McDonough throw out his voice against Florida in 1999.
I think I said Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, Sean Alexander, and Trent Richardson. I think that's what I said.
Yeah.
But,
Derrick Henry's my extra head.
Yeah, Derrick Henry was my first head. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I had Johnny Musso on there, like the Italian stallion, but it's like every dude was called the Italian stallion. Rocky, Franco Harrison, Johnny Musso. Like it's like, whoa, was every dude nicknamed the Italian stallion in the 70s? Like, oh my god, it's like, nope, no trademark here.
First. So anyway, I agree with obviously Derrick Henry. I'll go with Ingram. I like Ingram. I'm gonna have to. Sean Alexander would be on there 3, and then I'm gonna have to I got to really ponder that one though.
I mean, you could go so many different directions. I mean, you've got like Eddie Lacy, you got Trent Richardson.
Yeah, I don't.
Bobby Humphrey's another one.
Bobby Humphrey was good, good, and then got to go. You don't forget those old school guys. I mean, I know we're running the option a lot and stuff like that, but still some good ones. So, but I agree with Alexander, Ingram, and Derrick Henry. And then let me ponder my fourth one.
There you go. But for a quarterback,
on that one. So now you got quarterbacks. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man.
Right there.
Well, I know Will says Stabler, Tua, Namath, Palmer. I don't recall any of our quarterbacks having a Palmer.
Yeah, I sat with the list for a while. I had to really think about who I was going to pick, and I don't know if I love my list, but I did a lot of thinking. So who wants to go first here?
Jack will go first.
And let Coach go first.
We'll throw him. No.
Hey, what up, Roscoe?
Roscoe, who you got? You got Johnny Burks?
He's like, I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Go ahead, Jeffrey.
All right, I'll go since Jackson doesn't want to. Well, I had Namath. I got Joe Namath. I think he should be on the Mount Rushmore. I've got AJ McCarron, Mr. Consistent, that we talked about previously.
Now, this is all for those listening. This is college. We're not going pro route. We're talking about what these guys did in college. Forget the pro stuff.
So I've got Joe Namath, AJ McCarron, Tua, and for fourth, I don't love it, but I picked Bryce. I picked Bryce Young at 4, and I know that because I know you've got McElroy, You've got Hurts. I only didn't pick Hurts because he transferred. And then there's a lot of old school guys, but when you look at their stats, they kind of suck, man. I know it's a different era though, too. You know, there's a lot of them that were like, because like Sloan, as the Godfather says, like his stats, he had like 20 something touchdowns and 20 something picks in his whole career. Like that's not good. I know it's a different era though, but it's like that's not good. So I was looking at a lot of those old guys and. Just the stats are not there, and again, I know it's kind of unfair to them. Stabler, same thing. His stats were not great.
Oh, Stabler was a party boy, man. He partied. Like it was so funny though. It's like looking at him in the '80s. He had like gray hair. Like he was about to retire from Saints or something.
It's a different era. It's just we know they ran the ball more, but I didn't really like a lot of the stats from those guys back then. So again, I went with McCarron, Namath, Young, and Tua.
But all right, going back to the old school guys, I don't know if you realize, but a lot of these quarterbacks called their own plays.
Mm-hmm.
You know, coaches would give them a game plan, but
that is fair.
You can look in the old school; they're not over there signaling plays, and later on you'd see a little bit of sending plays in from the sideline with receivers and running backs and stuff like that. But a lot of these old school guys called their own plays. They would spend time during the week with Coach Bryant or whatever coach and that kind of stuff. And we want this. This is the game plan. We want the plays called within this frame right here. And so, it was different. It was different. It was a little more complicated. But the wide open, kind of aspect we have today was obviously not like that. Go, Jack.
Well, it's my turn.
I wonder how many he's going to have that's on mine. I wonder. I got 2 or 3.
I got A.J. McCarron, Tua Tagovailoa, Joe Namath. The 4th one is Pat Trammell.
Okay.
Oh, Dr. Trammell.
3 of the 4 we agreed.
There we go. It's like, you got to like think about it because it's like Trammell was Bear Bryant's favorite player. Like, dude was wicked smart.
Yeah, he called his own plays. They first, for Coach Bryant, 61, first national championship.
Like, he was so smart that Coach Bryant even told him, like, you're too smart to go into pro football. Like, he's that smart.
Yeah, in his best season, he threw for 1,000 yards. I mean, that just would not fly today.
Yeah, but everybody...
I mean, it's fair. I mean, I think before Coach Burst goes, I feel like an underrated one that you might have on your list. I don't know. Jay Barker. He was good too. In the 90s. I thought about him, but I just went with Young because I felt like Young did really great with what he had. And being as small as he was, I mean, that guy, like some of the throws he made, he didn't win a title. So, that's kind of the thing holding him back. But to me, that's why I picked him. But that's fair with you, Jackson. An oddball pick. I don't think really anybody would have him there, but I think it's fair though. You can make an argument for it.
There you go. I mean, it's that's
what Will was talking about. I knew he had to be talking about Barker.
Jay Barker.
We didn't have a Palmer. I was like, what?
There you go. Because I mean, it's like, oh, we appreciate you, and Jay, you're good, man. Have some fun with us. We welcome everybody. All right here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football. No worries, good buddy. But yeah, like looking back at it, we got like A.J. McCarron leads the school all time in passing yards. That's huge. That's a win. Like you say, he was Mr. Consistent. And the moment I knew that we were going to have something special was I was watching him with my uncle on pay-per-view for Alabama San Jose State week 1. When he made that big throw in the second quarter against San Jose State, week 2. I remember that game. Like, I mean, it's like, I know nobody really thinks about those games, but it's like the one big play where it's like our guy was catching a one-hand grab from McCarron. That's when I knew something big was going to be happening for the future.
I'm very curious to hear Coach Johnny's list. I want to hear it.
All right. The interesting thing is a lot. Not I know you guys do, but I'm not sure a lot of listening people really understand. I mean, Alabama's had some great quarterbacks, collegiate wise. I mean, one name, I'm sure you've thought about this, but one that hadn't been mentioned is Bart Starr.
Oh, yes.
He was from Montgomery, played at
Mhm.
Alabama there, I think, and then of course, great with the Green Bay Packers. But college wise, I'm on effectiveness, and I'm gonna go. I hope I can narrow it to 4, but I may switch to 5.
Oh, you can
I'm
add
gonna
it
go 2 definitely, or Namath and Stabler
because there's going to be an extra head to Mount Rushmore at some point in this
at some
century.
point. But definitely Namath and Stabler at the time, 63, 4, 5, 6. I mean, this pinnacle of, not the pinnacle, but one of the pinnacles. I mean, you got to have great quarterbacks, and so those two guys. They had great. Don't get me wrong, they had great collegiate careers. All right, so I'm not just because they NFL Hall of Fame. They're in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at the age of the wishbone. You had Richard Todd, played for the New York Jets. Very good player. I liked old Gary Hollingsworth. He did a great job. Jay Barker. I mean, guy, all he did was win. And then you head to, shall we say, into the Saban era, and then you got Tua, you got Bryce, AJ. So, but if I'm gonna narrow it down, I'll go with Namath and Stabler, and then I'll probably go, and college-wise, I'll go with AJ and Tua.
Okay. I mean, we're pretty much spot on. I mean, you said Stabler, you said Trumbull, I said Young. I mean, other than that, we agree with the other 3. So it's pretty definitive. It seems that like we kind of have that few. We had a lot of great quarterbacks. We had the few that were better. That like definitively, I feel like. I mean, everybody can argue for sure. I mean,
you got and Jalen Hurts. I mean, that's what a lot of people. I mean, we know, but a lot of people don't realize Alabama's had historically some great quarterbacks over the history of the program. So you got Harry Gilmer way back in the 30s and 40s, 30s. So anyway, but old school.
Purley Herbert from the 1925 Alabama national title team. Hey, 100th anniversary. We got to celebrate in style.
Yeah. But then you go, and I know AJ's professional career didn't pan out like everybody wanted it to, although I thought he did a good job when, a lot of times it's being traded. It's, a lot of different factors going in. But as far as quarterback at Alabama, the guy was spot on. He was great. He was, Johnny Manziel, that era, and did a great job when we had the rematch and all that kind of stuff. And then I thought Tua, and Jalen, but I thought Tua was, and of course, obviously injuries hampered, but him coming in that national championship game, and then, the next season, I mean, he was, he very, very special player. Good things happen for him, which I think they will. So anyway, that's where I get. I got 2 old school, 2 younger, and then a lot of dang good ones in between.
Oh yeah, I had so many that I wanted to put on there. I mean, I kind of eliminated Hurts again because he transferred. Not his fault; he got benched. But Hurts was right there, and I almost had Barker. Stabler was pretty close as well. I mean, it's splitting hairs at that point. I mean, again, Bryce Young, I was kind of probably no one's going to put him there, but I feel like, again, with just the adversity that he himself had to face with being a 5'10" quarterback in the SEC, with an offensive line that was deteriorating at Alabama, getting worse. I just feel like it was darn impressive to do what he did. I agree.
And he's going to have. The good thing is these guys, Tua, he's already doing well. Bryce, going to be fine. And I got news for you. Jalen's going to surprise. He'll be a Jalen Milroe will be a Jalen Hurts. He's going to be one of those. He's got the upside. I think his opportunities in the NFL are going to be really, really, and I think he's going to be a bloomer.
Oh,
Kind of
yeah.
like Jalen. Jalen was a late developer.
I'm glad for Austin's sake that Milroe wasn't selected to the Giants. So it's like, I don't think he'd be too happy, but he's not happy now with Jackson Dart being at Ole Miss. But if you feel like if you agree with our list or disagree with our list for Mount Rushmore QBs for Alabama Crimson Tide, comment in the comment section or comment in the chat below on each of our live shows. Stay tuned for more from Alabama Voice College Football. Well, before we get to our next topic, Jeffrey, what have you got going on this week, good buddy?
Nah, just gonna be trying to make some videos and maybe go live again soon on maybe the NBA or talking about the transfer portal. It's chaotic and crazy. That's all I can say. So definitely appreciate if you guys check out my channel, Only Talk Sports. Also subscribe though to Alabama, the voice of college football. We are here every Monday, every Thursday, tons of video clips. Jackson has breaking news content as well. We got tons of stuff coming at Alabama, the voice of college football, and excited to be a part of it every week. It's always a fun time with you guys. Appreciate it a lot.
It's always awesome hanging with you, Jeffrey, and we will definitely be seeing you Thursday night. One question though: are the Clippers a bad luck team in the NBA? Because I'm starting to feel if Tyronn Lue can't get you to an NBA Finals at the Clippers, then you really are the New York Jets of the NBA, except you're like a successful version.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they had a great shot to win the series, couldn't get it done. So they kind of just are that unfortunate team. They just can't get over the top. It is what it is.
There you go, man.
Definitely, I will be trying to stream again with Will and D, hopefully soon in the future when my schedule gets a little bit less crazy.
Hey Jeffrey, watch my. Last week I told Jackson I was going to do deep dive into quarterbacks, and so that's what I'm doing, and so I'm going to try to go through a couple of technical things and technique and all that kind of stuff, and then in the end I'm gonna rank my going into the fall my top from whatever to whatever my top predictions with regard to the SEC quarterbacks.
Now, that sounds great. That would be a ton of fun.
I got I'm doing Ty Simpson and SEC Arch Manning today.
There you go, man.
That would be awesome.
A lot of interesting stuff. I've been watching those two characters.
There we go. And we've got some magic coming your way from the Voice College Football before we definitely get to our next topic.
You two have a great night.
Well, you too, man. Stay safe. And before we get to our next topic, we're going to get to the Voice of College Football X account. Come on in. Then the rest of the social media. So, of course, it is the top-notch discussion, debate, analysis with no off-season. And you got guys like Tucker Harlan, Jordan Binkley on Tennessee Volunteers Live. You got Coach Johnny Burtz, myself, and Jeffrey on Talk Sports coming to you live, breaking the fourth wall. You got Josh Helmer and Chris Magello on the Iowa Primetime Show. The Coliseum Chronicles from USC at the Voice College Football. Casey Casliner and Terrence Holton. Chad and Tierney Smith, the star couple of the Voice of College Football. Taylor and Travis have nothing on those two. Jared Curtis committing to the Georgia Bulldogs. Ben and Spaz breaking news take on Jared Curtis not taking Oregon over Georgia. And of course, there's the Voice of College Football Instagram, where the magic is all over the place. You got Jared Curtis, of course. Jared Curtis all over the place, isn't he? You can look back at everything in all college football. South Florida putting a scare into us. I hate reliving those days, don't you, Coach?
Yeah.
I mean,
eat your heart out, Alabama.
Oh, Lord. Got Randy Moss from back in the day. And Marshall. Bear Beckmer from Stanford transferred to BYU. The top 10 SEC teams, according to Gabriel Pickup from Rutgers at the Voice of College Football. Our guy bringing that magic on the social media. He's like a magician. I swear, he and Patrick and the social media team, they're bringing magic all over the place. And, of course, the Facebook account, where it's got top-notch articles from our friends, Leanne Herring, Alex Keyser, Matt Zimick, Mark and friends bringing the magic. Oh, there's Mark and Leanne bringing the magic on the move. Mark and Cam going at it strong on Hurricanes Live. March, Steve, Tony on Buckeyes Live, who very soon, 3 weeks from now, will be celebrating their 6th anniversary of Buckeyes Live on Ohio State at the Voice of College Football. Stay tuned for that show and talk with them about your favorite memories of Buckeyes Live. Whew. Alrighty, so we're going to get to our next topic. And we've got your takes, our takes, on Jalen Milroe's first practice at the minicamp. And it's looking pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He's pretty happy. I mean, he seems to be doing all right. Where do we have?
He's a high motivated individual, and he's got a good character, willing to learn. And I'm telling you, he's going to be a late bloomer like Jalen Hurts. And you have not seen the last of Jalen Milroe. I'm just telling you, he's going to produce. He's going to impress, and it's going to be a good situation for him.
Boom! He's making magic.
Good arm.
Boom.
Is he wearing number 6?
Yes.
Oh, a great number. Oh my gosh. Now I know it's going to happen.
I want it to be, I always like seeing Corvettes wear 12, but it's like, I don't care.
There you go.
Like, don't ever retire the number 12.
Yeah. I like it, number 6.
There we go.
Yeah. But and he's eager to please. He's going to work hard. I mean, he was a man beast. You watch his combine stuff.
Ooh.
I mean, that guy is big, and he's well built, and just highly motivated individual. You see him right here. I watch this. Look at those arms. Boom, 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 boom.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that guy's moving it, and I mean, he's not a little guy. So very, very impressive introduction. I'm sure the Seahawks are pleased.
Oh, they're gonna be happy. I mean,
the biggest thing is, I'm telling you, the intangible with Jalen Milroe is the ability to listen and learn.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's the benefit of drafting him.
Yeah. And I'm loving this headline from our buddy Brody Smoot from Touchdown Alabama, where he said he plans to earn the respect of veteran Seahawks teammates. I love that.
Exactly.
That's exactly why he got drafted over Shedeur. Agreed, Adam J. He's much better than Shedeur Sanders, not just on the field, but off the field. Because it's, you want those guys that will have your back off the field. You want somebody you can trust.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be somebody you're just putting up with. Because if you're around somebody you're just putting up with, you're not likely to want to protect them in a game.
Yeah. Somebody's just pompous and that kind of stuff. So,
but in this interview with the individual. But and he says he's a student of the game. He's got to earn the trust, respect of everyone in the locker room. Meeting extra with the coaching staff, getting around the guys in the room, learning, growing, because no matter what work I have, I've got to be the best QB I can be. These guys have had reps in the NFL, competed at a high level. So as a young guy, all I want to do is pay respect to the veterans.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah. Live up to the to what's what's been done in the past. Live up to the veterans.
Yeah.
They've already proved themselves. Now, if you do the same, then you're in the club. Now, I
There we
think
go.
you're going to do it.
I mean, he's home free. I mean, I'm already liking what he's going to do because it's like, I'm getting some Russell Wilson vibes. Like not the Russell Wilson now, but the Russell Wilson when he was at the Seahawks and before he met Sierra.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think that's good. That's a good analogy.
yeah, because I mean,
Young and willing, young and eager to please. I mean, that's the biggest thing with players. Just got to be eager to please, not satisfied, not thinking I've already done. I'm this, I'm that. Eager to please, wanting to get better. When you get to the point that I've done this, done that, then I mean, that's the mark of that's when you learn. It's toward the end.
like that whole thing with Shador Sanders, like the entitled attitude. You know what reminds me of? It was something I watched the other night. It was that Gunsmoke episode with James Best. Where he's like the entitled son, acting as he pleases, all that stuff, and Daddy's gonna bail me out. Then he's bawling like a baby when Daddy can't bail him out.
Yeah.
Kind of what I'm getting from Shador, but I don't get that from Jalen.
Yeah,
He's a guy that wants to earn his way.
And remind everybody who James Best found probably his better known character.
Well, he's Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane on Dukes of Hazzard, and he was a mentor. He was an acting mentor for Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, and my little puppy over here, who's over to the left, I mean, he's named after him, Roscoe P. Coltrane, and he was a fabulous guitar player. I don't know if you ever saw that Andy Griffith episode with James Best, but Roscoe's named after him. So anyway, yeah. But I remember.
Yeah, it's like I've got a pretty good feeling about Melrose. I think his teammates gonna have a good feeling about him, and he keeps going the way he's going, like he is now. Mm-hmm. He's gonna be more than okay.
Yeah, he's fine. I tell you, that guy's fine. He's a winner,
top-notch winner.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got the mentality of one.
Yeah, that's all it takes. The bright mindset.
There we go. Nick Saban recruited Milroe. Now Saban is teaching Sanders. Who would you rather select a QB from? I'm recruiting. I want Milroe.
Wait, who would you want? The quarterback? If you're a quarterback, would you want Saban or Sanders?
Teaching Dion, he meant. Dion's teaching Sanders.
Yeah, I'd rather have Saban teach.
I don't want I don't want a grown man that's going to be blubbering, crying like a baby because Daddy can't bail him out. I don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, the proof's coaching quarterbacks. I mean, it's Saban. Look at me, quarterback Mac Jones. I mean, AJ McCarron. I mean, it just goes on and on. I mean, you had Parker Wilson, and then Greg McElroy, and you just keep going and going and going. So, I mean, if I were a quarterback, I'd rather learn under Saban than Dion.
Oh yeah, I mean, because like Dion's fun to play for, but I'd hate to be teammates with the coach's son, honestly.
Sometimes I'd just like to be. Now I know Dion. I'm not going to throw him under the bus. I know he does a good job. Yeah. With regard to coaching, he's been very successful, but it comes down to coaching family, and I'm not sure if he's. I guess because the way he presents himself, I think it's probably rubbed off on Shador and Shiloh and that kind of stuff. But that was him, and I don't know if they're trying to be the mini-me's and trying to be copies of him and use that as their. I guess, I don't know, personality kind of core. So anyway.
Agreed. I mean, like the Aflac commercials on air, off air. I do have a good feeling hanging with Coach Saban will rub off on Coach Prime in a good way.
Yeah.
And
Probably already has, but I don't know if Dion did a good job. I guess I would say swaying, leading his sons away from the bling bling, and all that. I don't know, all this bling bling, talk, that kind of stuff. And so I don't know if he did a good job with regard to that. So we'll see.
Yeah. And Pet Snipe Husker said Dion has also publicly crapped all over his players after a loss.
Hmm.
But, well, that was the Colorado-Nebraska game, of course, that our guy Pet Snipe Husker is talking about. But, yeah, it's like the NFC West, I'm curious about where that's going for 2025. I'm going to continue to really think about it, especially once the NFL schedule releases next Wednesday, where that's going to go, where the Seahawks are going. I don't know how long Darnold's going to be there. I doubt it's going to be longer than 2025. But they're not having him there forever and ever. Anybody thinks they're, well, I don't think they're watching the Seahawks at all. I mean, yeah, he did good with the Vikings, but I mean, Kevin O'Connell could win with a janitor at QB in Minnesota. He's that good of a head coach.
Yeah, but it's still rolling through Kansas City. So,
oh yeah,
until somebody can match what's going on in Kansas City, it's just it's just waving in the wind.
There we go. Smile and wave.
Going nowhere.
Smile and wave. Smile and wave. There we go. All righty. So we got an offensive lineman. This is one of our recruiting updates, everybody. A 6'7" 4-star O lineman who's from Hawaii, Malachi Lee, who's got a visit from our offensive line coach, Chris Kapp, and the Tide's general manager, Courtney Morgan. And Lee attends Kamaheim High School in Kapalama in Honolulu, Hawaii. Well, I can get that part right. So if I can't get Honolulu right, what the heck am I doing? And he's got a 4-star rating from multiple recruiting sites. Alabama's in the top 6, along with BYU, Georgia, Michigan, Texas, and USC. Now we're going to be looking at this. Let me close out a few windows. That would mark spot. And the Crimson Tide hosted him for an unofficial visit in March. He's expected to return for an official visit. And this from March 31st, he's giving out a thank you post to the Crimson Tide, Coach Sanders, Coach Kapp, and Courtney Morgan for having us back. Glad I got to be there for the scrimmage. Meet everyone. See you in June. Roll Tide. Well, that's a good sign right there. Oh, well, he's going to be an offensive tackle on the collegiate level. Once we get done looking at these god-awful, crappy commercials that I don't think any of y'all really care to see these ads. Do you, chat? Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Here we go.
Yeah, hit that expanded out, yeah.
There we go. He's like, no.
Big old boy.
There you go. There we go. Here's the young man.
Yeah.
Oh, he's pushing him. He's telling him, no, this is my house now, son.
Big old boy. Left tackle.
Oh.
Locked down.
He's getting pretty mean on the defense.
Yeah, pancake.
I like having someone that's mean. Boom.
Yeah, pretty quick first step. Move those feet.
Oh, there we go.
And keep those hands in.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh man. Oh, he pushed him down.
Yeah. He's a
No,
big old
no,
boy. That is a man beast right there. He
Oh,
is
that's a
huge.
man's man right there. Boom. He pushed one guy down. I mean, pushed another.
Got him too. 2 for 1.
Oh, man. There you go. He's like, no, this is my house.
Now I know he's a little tall, so I understand that. But I would encourage him to play a little lower. He does have a tendency to raise. See, right? He has a tendency to raise up real quick. So once you raise up, better there. Once you raise up, I mean, then you lose the legs, and a guy that big needs to stay low so he can maintain his legs and that base leverage.
Block Origin Jetson is free and takes seconds to install. Oh, yep. But yeah, it's I like this guy.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of potential. Big guy. Stay a little lower. Looks pretty good. I would just suggest, instead of getting too high too quick, stay a little lower. Squat that old butt down a little. Keep it down a little longer.
Oh yeah. So that's what you need. You gotta have somebody.
Especially because this is high school. When he gets, he's 6'7". When he gets to college, he's going to run into tall guys like himself, and so your strength is, staying a little bit lower, not just standing straight up. Strength's a little, having a little squat and a little stronger base.
There we go.
But that's fixable, very fixable.
Well, we got a little something from on 3. We're looking up where he's most likely to go. They say it's 2.9% chance that Alabama gets him, and it's an 88.6% USC gets him. I hope not. But we've got an official visit on May 30th, 2025. So that's something to watch out for.
Yeah, and now we got Tua, but it's not easy getting those, that far away. And so a lot of times what's going to happen with this guy is if he decides, if he wants to, for him to come to Alabama, it's going to be a family move. And so obviously they'll have a package and they'll have enough money to move. But if he wants to commit to Alabama, then, it's kind of what happened to the Tagovailoas. They moved, to hit Trustful outside of Birmingham, in between Birmingham and Tuscaloosa. So for him, he's probably looking at if he goes to USC, his family's going to move there. If he goes wherever he goes, family's going to come, follow him. And so,
man, the Tagovailoa dad, Galoo, that's what he called himself. I think that was his name. He always looks so mad all the time. Like that's somebody knows.
I hear you.
Like, geez, dude, like take an Advil or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, like take a blood pressure med. But yeah, it's that would be awesome if we can get this young man to come over to Alabama. Like, just tell, and I don't know how. And it said Michigan's one of his choices. I don't know if Michigan's still going to be thinking about him because like they're going to be thinking about this whole situation they're dealing with right now with the Stallions fallout. And is Sharon Moore even going to coach the 2025 season? Forget whether he's going to be coaching the first 4 games. Is he going to be coaching a full season? That's the whole thing they're going to be thinking about right now.
Yeah, and 2, you're going from Hawaii to Michigan where it's going to be, you're going to have some cold and snow and all that kind of stuff. And so but you never know. It's whatever, parents are going to be offered something, jobs. So it's going to be very in depth. That's that's a whole family move.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, because the fact of the matter is like you gotta get everybody. You gotta get everybody on board.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope we get them. But because Alabama's got warm climate, but at the same time, we don't know what weather we're gonna have. It could be hot, it could be cold, it could be anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not so sure that that family wants to be dealing with that.
Yeah.
But, you know, there is a bit of a warmer climate in Hawaii, of course. So, and California, no doubt about it.
You got it.
And finally, we've got our take on Mark Ingram becoming a Hall of Famer for the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. All righty. And
Heck yeah.
there we go. He was a winner.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what. I looked at way back when. I looked at video of him in high school. You know, that back way back when, and that was one of Coach Saban's first, you know, recruiting classes, and I was so impressed by him. His, you know, small, but I mean the way he could move through and read blocks and set up blocks, and it was so sophisticated, and he had such a good drive with his legs and speed. Not blazing speed, but for his, I mean, just very, very good. I was like, gosh, if we can get this guy. I mean, he was probably number one on my list. If we can sign this guy, and then lo and behold, there goes those dominoes and everything. And yeah, that guy, and he's a good individual. I mean, just a quality individual. So, and that helped. You know, he came in, bought into the program, was great leader, set the tone for Trent Richardson, who followed, and so I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome. So very, very, very deserving.
Well, you know, he learned a lot from teaming up with Glenn Coffey, you know, in 2008. So that was pretty cool. It's like, exactly. I know. And it was just pretty cool to see Glenn Coffey and Mark Ingram teaming up in 2008. Like, they were making magic. And, oh, my God, like those Mark Ingram, Trent Richardson team-ups in 2009 and 2010, like, as you mentioned, Coach.
Yeah.
Those were amazing. Oh, my God.
Those were, And Glenn Coffey, didn't he join the military? And
yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. And so, I mean, there you go. I mean, just good foundation. And kudos to Coach Saban for, you know, back then, it wasn't just, guy's great, we're going to sign him. But Coach Saban was one of those guys that he would just look at the attitude, you know, talk to people, sit down, have a conversation, and see, and that kind of stuff. And you could measure, you know, is this guy willing to commit and do the things necessary to be, and offer the opportunity. And so, you know, there were very few times that Coach Saban was wrong about. Of course, times were different back then, but very few times he was wrong about recruiting and signing the individual. I think he was very good with regard to measuring character.
Yeah,
the type of player he wanted, a type of player he felt like he could develop and buy into the process.
Well, and, you know, the thing too is also, like, Mark Ingram was having some rough stuff in his personal life, but it's like,
with his dad.
Like with his dad being in jail, but it's like he didn't let it get to him. He used it as motivation for on the field. You know, it's like, I'm gonna get through this, and, you know, my dad's gonna be proud of me, and he's gonna be happy with what I'm doing. And, you know, at that time, you know, it for those that don't tune into Alabama football, you know, you would think we've had Heisman winners before Mark Ingram, but we didn't. He was our first Heisman Trophy winner. That was huge. And he was, man, he was just like, he was kind of letting it sink in that night.
Yeah, that was a beautiful scene, beautiful night, and very significant for the university, but I thought it was very significant for him, and it meant a lot to him. And that speaks to character. And you look where he is today and what he's doing with his life, and always made good decisions. So, yeah. Coach Saban could find those winners.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you'll never hear anybody say a bad word about Mark Ingram. I mean, the worst thing you might hear is like, I don't like his commentary on mid noon kickoff. But that's the most negative comment you're going to hear about him. But other than that, that's it.
Yeah. I've listened to him. It doesn't bother me any. I mean, everybody's got their opinion. So
there we go. I just wish we had that Greg McElroy, Nick Saban, Mark Ingram selfie for, in Madison, Wisconsin. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But hey, who knows? Maybe we could possibly get them all reunited here on Crimson Tide Live. It's a possibility.
Anything's possible.
There we go. Especially in this world. But yeah, it's like thinking about like the magic he was bringing with Drew Brees at the Saints and all over the NFL. It's like it was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. And Alvin Kamara, another guy transferred out of Alabama. I mean, they were a two-headed beast there. One shake and bake, and the other just that drive, that power, low center of gravity, and those powerful legs driving. So it was a great scenario for Sean Payton.
There we go.
Worked out well for a long time.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that 09 Heisman race was wild. Like Toby Gerhart, Mark Ingram, and Ndamukong. Pit Snipe, do you pronounce this Ndamukong or is it Ndamukong? Because I know like Brent Musburger called it
Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah. I mean, what's the point of having Kong in your name if you're not going to have the Kong part pronounced?
Yeah.
Grief.
I
do not want to get on Ndamukong Suh's bad side, that's for sure.
No, I've heard stories about that guy. Man, that guy Tom Brady tells a story about how he made his life miserable one game or whatever, and I'm not here to be your friend.
Hey, maybe
Tom Brady talk about.
Oh man, maybe in the Ndamukong Suh and Mark Ingram are having a little something like off there where it's like no media, no press, just us.
Yeah.
Who's better?
Yeah.
Like that would be cool, honestly. Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah, that was different at that time.
But yeah, it's humongous impact that Ingram had for the Crimson Tide. Wonderful young man, great guy.
Yeah, to be recognized by, I'm sure he's going to be recognized by the state of Michigan, being from there. But he also, definitely state of Alabama.
Agreed.
There's been a lot of them in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame, but all I trust them. The ones they induct are the ones that are very deserving. He's one.
There we go. He's a winner all over the place, on and off field, and on the mic, off the mic. He's doing a great job on Fox. Yeah. I mean, he's a go-to for me. He's doing great in the podcast world as well, so he's doing pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, what have you got going on this week, good buddy?
Well, tomorrow I'll be back doing the last couple of weeks of the education, and that's about it. I'm working down here in the cellar and getting my little man cave going, and Roscoe's looks like he's taking a nap, and so not a lot, just living large and 35801.
There we go.
Downtown Huntsville. Did y'all get a lot of rain out there?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Friday. Oh man, it came a monsoon.
Woo. That's what Mama was saying. It was a monsoon Friday.
Ooh, man, I'm telling you. So the volume and the wind gust. I mean, it was. Now we had the tornado, a year or so ago back behind me, and one block over that tornado came through. But that wind gust we had here Friday night was. Gosh, that was hurricane force. It was insane, and the amount of rain coming down was whoo. But I mean, crazy. I mean, tonight I think here in May. Think about it, Jack. In May, tonight's May 5th, Cinco. Tonight the low's supposed to be.
Oh, tomorrow it's May
49. Yeah, tonight the low's supposed to be 49 degrees.
Yeah, it's nuts.
In May, in Alabama. But I'll take it.
The Bama weather is so weird. Good grief.
Yeah, but it's good.
Yeah. I just want it to be normal for once, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I'll take the 49 degrees at night for all summer long if it'll last, but I don't think it will. But yeah, but I'm still doing. I got 2 more weeks, and I'm down for summer.
Yep, there you go. 104 days summer vacation. There we go. Let's
No,
go.
it ain't,
It's summer vacation.
No, it ain't 100 and some odd days. No.
Yeah. Well, for us, it is at Alabama with the Voice of College Football because it's 117 days. 117 days. 2 weeks from now will be 103 days.
Yeah. Cool.
So,
Hey, what's on what next week? What Mount Rushmore are we doing? Running back? No. Well, y'all have already done running backs, right? Receiver.
yeah, we did running backs Thursday night. I think we're gonna do the wide receiver
Yeah.
ones Thursday night. Like we'll make sure to get yours posted, and we need to post the quarterback Mount Rushmore on the post for the channel. Like let everybody ask everybody, just come on in, like give out your takes. Give out your takes, everybody.
Have a poll. Conduct a poll on the website.
There you go. Like we'll get some things.
Rank them. We'll give them a list. We'll give them a list and let them rank them.
There you go. There we go. And of course, you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979 on my personal YouTube channel, where I've got numerous collaborations with my buddy Will and D, who you saw tonight, and my guy Austin from Sports Talk with Austin. And I've got my show, The Jacksonian, where I've got all kinds of guests coming on in here and there. I'm still shooting for those political guests, trying to get them on, but I'm going to keep doing for sure. But for more updates on Alabama with the Voice of College Football and what I've got going on the Jacksonian, check me out on JacksonBOCFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram and Threads at JacksonJohnson543908, where I not only got my updates on the Jacksonian and Alabama Voice of College Football, but also my once-a-week calls on the Paul Feinbaum Show. And, of course, you can catch Alabama Crimson Tide Live and the Alabama Primetime Live Show, then the Alabama College Show, all right here on your audio platform on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and iHeartRadio. Please leave a rating and a review. So, with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell to Alabama at the Voice of College Football so you never miss no video whatsoever or another episode. Let's get the 3,000 subs. We're getting there. We thank you so much for tuning in to this 36th edition of Crimson Tide Live. Jeffrey and I will see you Thursday night on the call-in show, where we take your calls 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and roll tide.
Roll.
There you go.
Roscoe, what are you doing? Where are you going? Roscoe. Get in here.